everyone, this is Melissa, and I'm the talkative introvert. First of all, I hope everyone is doing okay out there. I know it's been rough this whole year, but if you're like me and you live in California, we got the fires going on. It looks like they're getting contained, so that's great. And I know I heard about the hurricanes too. So I really hope just everyone's okay. Everyone's doing okay. I know there's still a lot going on and not a lot has subsided yet, unfortunately. But I hope you are taking the time to take a break and take a mental break away from social media and the news and all that. And maybe even listen to one of my podcasts because I try to stray away from all that stuff because it's a little break from the real world just for a moment. So for today, we are joined by another guest. I am loving these guest episodes. I will do a solo one, eventually, but, a lot of people, specifically in my family and my friends, are super excited about this whole podcast thing. I was hiding it from them for a little while, or hiding it in general. However, people obviously find out, it's not hard if you're public and it's published on Spotify and it's out there. So people are finding out about it, and I'm excited that people are excited about it. It's nice to share this platform with them, and I've been really enjoying these conversations, and it's been really fun, honestly. And recently my podcast reached 500 downloads, which is, I don't know what the average is, but for me, that's pretty awesome because I started my first episode, I think aired in late May, the last week of May. And then, so technically the season really started the first week of June. I believe it's the first day of June, actually. So June, July, August, 3 months, 500 downloads. That's pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, so let's get into the episode. I'm so excited for you guys to meet my cousin-in-law. He's a character and he's fun to talk to. So let's get right to it. Today I'm joined by Patrick DeGuzman. He is my cousin-in-law and also Katrina's brother. You may remember her from episode 11 and 14, so go check those out. Patrick is also one of the very first people I met on my husband's side of the family. So I've known him for 13 years now. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me, Patrick. Do you want to say a little something about yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been listening since you first posted it, and I look forward to hearing from you more.
Oh, thanks, Patrick. I didn't know you listened to all of it. Or did you listen to all of it?
I did. I do. I listen to it while I'm at work.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense because I do have I think, Buzzsprout, the one that hosts my podcast, it does tell you the locations of your listeners, and I do have a couple in Hawaii. So I don't know if it's you and Joseph, or
Probably.
It's just random person.
Mm-hmm.
So in today's episode, I did send Patrick a little article, but it did talk about. So the article was about personalities and our video game choices, specifically with introverts and extroverts. So there's the misconception that introverts are the ones that play the most video games and extroverts don't, but that's actually wrong, and that we actually play the same amount of video games. The difference is the type of video games we play. And so I wanted to bring Patrick on here to see how true the article is. So for Patrick, I asked you to take the introvert, extrovert, and ambivert quiz. So do you mind sharing what you got?
Yeah, of course. So when I took it going into thinking that I was more introverted, but actually I was more on the extrovert side.
So why do you think you're more introverted?
Well, I do like to stay home more often than going out, but on occasion I do like to go out with people. But I do like to be home at the same time. But according to this test, I guess I would say I'm more extroverted at the time.
So do you think you're more of like an ambivert? So it's like in the middle?
I would say personally, I would say yes, I'm an ambivert.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember so me and Casey, aka Katrina, she thought you were more of an introvert or and kind of more like down the middle, but more on the introvert side because she kind of said the same thing that you kind of like your alone time too. But I can see it both ways because you're kind of like the life of the party, but then you also like to be on your own. So I think you're more of an ambivert.
Yeah, I like to stay I like to be by myself most of the time, but when it comes to partying, I like to have a good time. I like to make sure everybody else has a good time. I kind of get that from my dad. I mean, you've been to those parties. He's always trying to
Hmm.
get everybody to join in on the fun and always trying to make sure everybody's enjoying themselves whenever he either throws parties or even just when it's just like a regular breakfast or something.
Hmm. You definitely get that from your dad. Very like the host of the party, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
I can see that down the road cuz like right now your dad's place or like your parents' place is like the party house, you know? That's like where everyone goes every weekend.
Hmm.
So I can totally see that like down the road like you being that person.
Oh yeah. And especially if I'm by myself, just I'm like, hey, everybody come over, let's get some drinks, let's play some video games. I got VR set up or like whatever's the game of the century at that time. I don't know.
Oh, I bet VR would be like super advanced by then.
Oh yeah. Oh
I mean, it's
yeah.
it's pretty good now.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So, okay, so back to our like main topic. I guess we should talk about so you got extrovert, but we think you're more ambivert. So, in those terms, what do you think or not in those terms, but what are your favorite games?
So when it comes to video games, I'll start with my favorite game of all time. It would probably be have to be Bethesda's Fallout 3. I have hundreds of hours, maybe dozens of gameplays because there's just so much to do in this game. And honestly, I appreciate the storyline. And it was like kind of the one game that kind of like got me closer to your husband because like we'd always just talk about it. We'd read the strategy guide together, and it's just all around a great game. I highly recommend you play it
That's
if
like
you haven't played it
also,
before.
yeah, that's my all-time favorite game too. I feel like that brought us closer, like me and Brandon also, and like because Joseph played it too, Mikey played it. So Joseph's my nephew, Mikey's my brother, and like a ton of people played it that year. That was like a didn't it win like game of the year or
It
something?
did. It had
Yeah,
Game of the Year edition.
yeah, it was a good game. Okay, so that's your all-time favorite, and then what were you gonna say?
Oh, and I also like to play a lot of I would say like my second favorite game to play would have to be uh like Minecraft. But by myself is great and all, but I love to play it with people. Yeah, I love playing Minecraft with other people. It's so fun. It's so like after playing something super stressful, I can play and just relax, build whatever I
Mm-hmm.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Minecraft. That's like the one game that we all played together because I think that's like the one game that like brought our two families together. That sounds funny, but it brought like our families together in a way, you know what I mean? Like cuz
Hmm.
like we or me and Brayden played it, my brother played it, even Joseph played it a little bit, and a bunch of our friends did, and like you and Leia, and now even now it's like still because we played it at the very beginning, like when what's his face Notch, right?
Hmm.
He like first created it was still like in beta, and it was like the very very start of it all. We were playing it back then, and we're still kind of playing it now. So it's a good game for people to play with their families and friends.
Yeah, and it kind of shows how people are too in the sense because so my girlfriend now I was on my computer. I have this really expensive computer that I play games on, and she goes, "Oh, you have Minecraft on here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Can I play?" And I'm just like, "You want to play Minecraft on my computer?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Let me set it up for you." And she just sat there for hours and just played it. It's just like a game anyone can just pick up and enjoy. And she's not like she doesn't play like me. she goes and picks flowers and makes gardens, and she doesn't even worry about making a house. Like she made this beautiful garden patch, and I was just like, "You did this in 2 hours?" She's like, "Yeah, but I didn't build a house, and I keep getting killed." I'm like, "Okay, let me put it on peaceful for you."
That's funny. Yeah, it's a really good, like, well-rounded game because, like, and it's good for like all ages. Like I was saying, like we were playing it back then, but we're still playing it now, and we're like adults now, and now we're playing with like our little nephew who's only how old is Aiden? Like 6 now.
Yeah,
And so he plays with us sometimes. And yeah, like you were saying, it does bring out people's personalities, like the worlds that we create and what people decide to make in them. It's like completely different. Like your area of our Minecraft world is completely different from like my area.
yeah. Yours is more artistic and like beautiful and like planned out more. Mine is I build a house, and then after I build the house, I get as much like I like get as many materials as I can, like diamonds and iron and all that stuff, and just make it get myself super wealthy, and then I'll start thinking, I want to build a butcher shop. I want to build a tree house. I want to build a garden, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's very there's because we're also very different part not different parts, but we're pretty spread out too in the world. So I'll be doing my own thing, and I have like a really nice house, like I'll decorate it, and I have my garden planned out, and everything's like planned out and like symmetrical and everything. And then I'll go over to Patrick's place, and it's just like this giant empire of like all kinds of different houses, because you even have like your tree house, and then your mansion, and then your it's just like huge and massive. And I was like, how did this even happen in like the last 3 hours?
Hey,
It's
when
insane.
I game hard. You know what I'm saying? I have to play. Have to keep everybody entertained.
And that's kind of a, so going back to like that article, like what it was saying, so I forgot to mention, like, so introverts tend to play more RPGs, more like solo games, whereas extroverts tend to play more multiplayer games. But you literally just said that you like Fallout 3 as your main game, but you also like Minecraft playing with other people. So that kind of plays into your ambivert personality, like how you're both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I love playing RPGs, single player games because, I love a good story. I'll play a story over and over again. Like, I don't know how many times I played BioShock. All three of them. I played all three of them probably at least 5 times each. And I just love the story of that. And then I'll go out and I'll play like a game like Rainbow Six Siege, which is like a multiplayer game. And if you've never played it, it doesn't have a story. It's just you have an objective, you do whatever it takes with a 5-man team to get that objective, and it just shows like the different stories, like are the different like sides of the spectrum I am, because I'll play either one for hours on end, but I just don't stick to one specific game.
Yeah. And that's interesting because I'm so I'm definitely an introvert. I mean, that's the whole, podcast is I'm an talkative introvert.
Mhm.
And I do like multiplayer games, but I play mostly solo games. And like I played like the different Fallout games, like I played Fallout 3 and New Vegas and Fallout 4 and all that. And I love like Stardew Valley and
Oh,
like
Stardew Valley. I love Stardew Valley.
I know I have a lot of hours in that one too. And I like those kinds of games. Like I like what's that one? Oh
Um,
man.
Harvest Moon,
Oh yeah, I grew up playing Harvest Moon. I love Harvest Moon. But there's this one specifically that we were playing,
Maple Story.
RimWorld.
Oh, RimWorld. Yeah, your brother
Yeah.
was telling me to get into it.
Have you played that?
I have not. I remember he told me he was gonna play it, and then so lately I've just been looking to see if people play the games they tell me to play. Like, so I'll be like, let's see what he's playing. And if he doesn't play it for like weeks on weeks on end, I don't play it,
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't go and buy it.
Yeah. That game you can play multiplayer, but I do enjoy playing it single player as well cuz it's very I like those ones where it has either a good story, one, or two, it's like one of those strategy games, and those
Yeah,
like survival type games and um like management type games, I guess. I guess you could call it. So I love those, and that's definitely plays into my personality a lot. But I like playing um, multiplayer games. Like I do like when we play Rust. Like I've mentioned this to you before, but like when we play Rust, it also really shows our personality too. So if you don't know, so how would you describe Rust? I guess for people who don't know what game that is.
So Rust, first of all, it's a game you have to be patient with, and you have to really engage yourself to play it because it's all real time, not like day wise. I'm talking like all your stuff is your server's on all the time. If you're offline, somebody else around the world can be online. So, but it's like an open world, kind of open world or open map where you go and you collect all these components and you get all these scrap and materials to help build up your base and your materials and get or in items to build up to get rockets to pretty much explode or like raid other players. And the point of the game is just like raid and get the best loot until the server wipes, pretty much.
Yeah. So you start off with like nothing. So you only start off with like a rock and a torch, and you're like completely naked. You don't even get to pick your person, because like I think the creator was saying like he doesn't want to do that because he wants to be like pretty real, like as if you're just stranded on an island, and like you don't get to pick your person because you don't get to pick who you are in real life, like how your skin color, your all that stuff, but you do get to pick your gender. But so yeah, you're like completely naked, you only have a rock and a torch, and you're starting from scratch and just like building up. And then like Patrick's saying, it's like on a server, so you can play with literally anyone around the world who has the game Rust. It's completely like random, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, you get all these servers. Like you can talk with them. They they can mess with you when you're offline. You can mess with them when you're offline. When they're offline, it's just a fun game.
Yeah. So we used to play that a lot. And like I always find it funny because like back to like our personalities, Patrick is like Patrick and like so not Brandon, my husband. Oh no, Brandon too, and our other family member. I'll call him B Dubs. So his name is Brandon too, but just to like differentiate. So they're good at like talking to people, and they'll engage with other people, and they'll even like play with other people, and like do stuff with them, like explore the world with them. But I stay in my place. Like I always stay back at the camp, and I will make my little garden in my little house, and I'll like just take care of our campsite, whereas like the guys will go and just like explore and talk to other people.
Yeah, and when I play these games with my friends and family, I tend to get a little rowdy. I'm like the loud one who likes to talk to everybody, even if they're like some random dude just coming up to us. I'm like, "Hey, who are you?" You know, because when we play these games, you tend to be like a little more like on the role player side, right? You know, you like to build
Hmm.
like nice houses and you like to explore the full extent of the game compared to like me, who's like, oh, gotta get guns, gotta get boom. You know, I gotta get this base down. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like and I'll go and explore by myself too. Like if I need to go get my own resources, like um you guys tend to go in groups together and explore new places, but I'll just go on my own and just like because I remember, because we'll be on the Discord, and I remember people who are playing with like, where'd Mia go? Like she's like disappeared, and then I'll just like randomly appear back at the camp with all my stuff.
yeah, yes, that happened a lot. Or like when me and Brandon Waterworth and not her husband, and the other and her husband actually were just decided to raid somebody for the first time when we were playing this game. We spent like an hour trying to break this dude's door down because we didn't really understand the game completely. Um, and we were just doing this, and we left our base and we came back and we just see this house, just this this I would say this beautiful house that's just like, oh man, you can definitely tell that this person is a role player because they got a garden out front and it just looks so nice. And I got my little 2x2 shack at the beach. I'm just like, okay, Mia, we were gone for an hour. How did you get all this done? You were so quiet. We honestly thought you were asleep or something.
Yeah. That's pretty much how we play. That's how it is on Minecraft too. I'll be quiet and then I'll randomly hear like Patrick saying, "Hey Mia, go check out my place." And I'll like, "Okay." And I'll just like go over there and go check out your place.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah.
What would you say Leia's like?
Leia?
Yeah.
Well, she only plays Minecraft with us.
Hmm.
I think she's more like me. We kind of have a very similar personality type, but she's more vocal, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She speaks her mind, and that's what I
Yeah.
love about her. If you're listening to this, Lou, you heard that right.
Oh. I oh, her episode's going to come out before yours actually.
Oh really?
Mhm. Cuz I scheduled yours specifically on your birthday.
What?
So everyone, if you go check out Patrick's Instagram page, if I have like, engaging listeners out there, go tell Patty happy birthday.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm always open to just somebody saying happy birthday to me. I meet a lot of different people in my line of work, so it's just like I'm used to just some random person like, "Oh, it's your birthday? Hey, happy birthday. How old are you? What? 18? 19? Oh, I'm about to be 25. No, you look like you're like 16." I'm like, "No, I'm manly as hell. Leave me alone."
Asian problems.
Yeah.
That's what Brandon, like when he shaves, he looks like a
Mhm.
baby.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
still have your stash.
Yeah, but I think I'm about to shave it again. It's still not growing in full.
Oh, okay. So what are you doing for your birthday?
So I actually can't do anything
Oh,
because
duh.
Hawaii is in complete lockdown for the next 10 days.
Mm.
Yeah.
You just
So
gonna like have dinner at your house? I don't even know. What can
probably
you do?
probably just cook, and just cook for myself or the girlfriend, see if she wants me to cook for her. Even though she should be cooking for me. I don't know, because it's my birthday, but I like to cook in the house.
Oh yeah, you took up cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. Gordon Ramsay, shout out to you. You taught me a few things in the kitchen, like how to cut an onion. And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay. Baby steps, baby steps."
You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to cut an onion.
Oh yeah. Like I think he called it rugged chopping, where people they'll just take an onion and they'll cut it into strips and they'll just go tap 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 tap, and just cut it into like uneven like strands, and it doesn't let the food sweat, when you put in the pan, when you sweat an onion. It just doesn't work like that if you got tiny little pieces.
Yeah. I worked at Chipotle, so we had to have perfect cut sizes all the time. I actually got tendonitis from it because I'm short.
Oh,
Yeah, because I'm 5'1", and the cutting tables at work were like, or at Chipotle, I think were meant for like, I don't know, the average American. I don't know, but I was too short for it, and so my wrist was at a weird angle, so I got like tendonitis from cutting onions and bell peppers.
yeah. I was blessed with good genes. I don't know where it came from. Everybody in my family's beneath 5'7", but thank goodness I'm 6 foot. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, you're 6 foot, like exactly 6 foot.
If my job has done a blot on me. If I don't slouch, which I do slouch a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6 foot. But when I do like the measure and I try and like force myself to stand up straight, I'm like 5'11".
Wait, what? If you slouch, you're 6 foot, but when you stand up straight, you're
No, when
five
I'm
eleven.
when I'm not slouching, I meant to say sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, that was
It's a
confusing.
long week, long day, long day. Sorry, I'm not
Okay.
I'm not stupid. I'm not that stupid. Okay,
Like, what are you talking about,
I'm
Patrick?
over here just like duh, duh.
So you are 6 foot if you stand up straight. Got it.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. But yeah, you are pretty tall. But I mean, for me, everybody's tall. So
that is true. can only imagine whenever I would go over to your mom's house. She's probably one of the smallest people I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah, she's only 4 now. Well, she used to be 4 now. I feel like she's
Like,
shrinking, so she's probably like 4'8" now or 4'7", and
yeah,
she's super tiny. She's like only 90 pounds, I think.
jeez.
Yeah, she's tiny. She's cute. She's feisty though.
But-
Don't mess with
Oh
my
yeah, she's
mom.
feisty, but she can cook. Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
empadito. Oh. Mm.
Oh, I need to ask her to make some empatito. She doesn't cater anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was like I remember I one time I was like, yeah, you should ask your mom if she can like I can buy some from her, and she was just like, oh no, and then she ended up just giving you a roll, and you just made it for everybody. And I was just so happy.
Yeah, if you're family, you get it for free.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss because now she just cooks for herself because she's tired. Yeah, that makes sense. She's
Mm-hmm.
retired now. She's got other stuff to do. She's gardening now.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she's got all kinds of stuff. She's got squash and like bitter melon, okra, eggplant. She's got all kinds of trees, tomatoes, and like different green beans. She's got all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. I see
And
where you
it
get it from now.
and it's weird, yeah, right? But like virtually, I can't keep a real plant alive for I don't know why. Because I do like plants and I want to garden, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling to keep alive a succulent. And succulents are supposed to be super easy.
I had a pet succulent. Yes, I have a pet plant. Her name was Lola, but as I bought her, I was so excited,
Oh.
and I had the instructions, and it was just like, oh, you just got to keep her in direct sunlight for this amount of time during the day, and water every few days. And I was like, all right, sounds easy enough. I get home, and as I get home, I realize there is no direct sunlight in my room at all. And I live on the fourth floor. I lived on the fourth floor in a dorm, so I thought sticking her out the window and just letting her sit on the ledge out there would keep her alive, but nope, wasn't direct sunlight. So I did the mature thing and I had to give Lola to somebody who takes care of plants because I didn't want her to die. So
Oh, that's sweet.
yeah, I felt also like embarrassed and because like I brought her to the beach one time and she had her own little pot. I brought her to the beach and let her get that sun. She was so happy over there. You can tell because like her like leaves were like she was very green and very
Mm-hmm.
healthy then. And then when I took her home a few days later, she started to like get a little
Wilt.
squishy. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea. I can't be going to the beach every day.
Yeah, for your plant, for your pet plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My mom gave me a bunch of plants, and she's like, "It's easy. Just water it." And I was like, "Okay, we'll see. We'll see." She gave me a few plants. We'll see if it's still alive. Anyways, before we move on, I want to talk to you guys about Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout makes it easy for any aspiring podcaster like myself get started and get listed on all the popular podcast platforms with their easy to follow instructions and numerous resources. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, I highly suggest getting hosted on Buzzsprout. New podcasters get a $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for a paid plan. Follow the link in the description to let them know I sent you and to support the show. If you do start a podcast, please let me know. I'd love to hear all about it. We definitely went on a tangent. I can't remember what's the last thing we talked about. Rust,
Uh,
huh?
yeah, we're talking about Rust and then building like going off and doing your own thing for like an hour. And then
Mm-hmm.
like us coming back and we're just like, whoa.
Oh yeah, and we were talking about Leia because she's like, so Leia, she's in the episode previous to Patrick, but she's my sister-in-law. In case you guys didn't hear that episode, but she also plays with us. We have like a whole group. We have like a text group that we'll text in there randomly, and then if we want to play games, someone will be like, "Hey, does anyone want to play games tonight?" Which hasn't happened in a while, but
Yeah.
I also think that hasn't happened in a while too because B Dubs is on a 60-day video game cleanse,
Yeah.
which
It's always
sounds
good.
funny.
Yeah, it's always good to get go on these cleanses, whether it be even something as simple as video games.
Yeah, because I feel like he plays more than we do.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
Hmm.
sure. Yeah.
Because I'll just randomly be on my computer and he's already on Steam. And then, like, um, what was it? We were playing like Payday with him. It was just like me, Brandon, my brother, and then him. And like we were finishing up playing because the Mikey and Brandon had to go to work the next morning, and he was still playing till like 4 in the morning, I think, and he had to get up at 6.
Oh yeah,
So
I don't know how many times Brandon Wadsworth and I have stayed up late playing video games. I think at one point I played Rust for 20 hours straight.
really, 20 hours?
Yeah, I had a 4 day
Holy
weekend.
crap!
I had a 4 day weekend. Brandon Wadsworth texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to play a duo server of Rust?" And I was just like, "Hell yeah!" And then we played, and I realized after playing for that long that I had a problem, and that I took like I remember I took like the next day off of playing, and it was like I played from Friday night, or no, Friday morning at like 7 a.m. to like 4 a.m. the next day,
Oh my god!
with little breaks here and there. Go to the bathroom, get food, obviously, but yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
or else I would have died.
That's crazy. That's why he's on a cleanse because he plays so much video games.
Yeah,
Uh,
and keep in mind that I'm in Hawaii and he's in Cali. I'm 3 hours behind him.
yeah, exactly.
So
So
like it was like 7 when I was like at 4 a.m.
yeah, I was just thinking about that. It's 4 a.m., so it's 7 o'clock. So basically, he just stay up the whole night. How does he do that? Because he also has 2 kids, like, and they're very energetic kids too. Like they're not like they love to play and they just have so much energy. And I'm just like, how are you doing this? Like he must be like hiked up on caffeine or something.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he drinks that much coffee or and Monsters. I don't
Yeah,
think he
I
drinks
don't know.
Monsters or energy drinks at all. But yeah, his kids, my niece and nephew, oh, they Emma is so cute, but I heard she's very rowdy.
She's a Sour Patch Kid. That's what we concluded. And she's very like I wouldn't be surprised if she did like a contact sport in high
Oh,
school, you
oh
know?
yeah, like wrestling.
Oh, she could totally do wrestling.
Yeah, she wrestles Aiden to the ground, and Aiden's what, 4 years older than her?
Uh-huh. But Aiden's
Yeah.
like light as a feather. Like I can see him doing maybe, I don't know, like cross country or track or maybe or not even that, maybe do like I don't know, like the art classes or something.
Yeah, or like swimming.
Yeah, swimming.
Yeah,
Emma's a beast.
yeah, she definitely is like her daddy.
Yeah, yeah. Aiden's like Joanne, and then Emma's like Brandon.
Oh yeah, that's why she's a daddy's girl.
Definitely. They're cute. They're cute kids.
Oh yeah,
Super
listen,
smart too.
yeah,
I feel like kids nowadays are just smart in general.
yeah. Would be an interesting topic for you.
Hmm.
Would you say kids today are more extrovert or introvert?
Kids today?
Yeah,
That's
because
kind of hard to say.
you see a lot of like social influencers go around, having parties and doing this, like
Hmm.
like TikTok, for instance. For some reason, everybody has to have a TikTok. Everybody's doing a TikTok. They're trying to get big like the people are on Vine who used to have Vine.
Hmm.
And like it's like making other people want to do it, like do things that they're like uncomfortable with. Like I'm not comfortable putting my phone up and asking somebody like to, hey, record me do this dance real quick. We're out in public in this area. Like if I don't know the person, I've seen people do that here, like at the beach. They'll be doing TikToks, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is weird. Like this is not normal to me.
I think like younger generations are also are I think they're more shameless, you know what I mean? Like like they don't care as much. Like they don't care. Like That's why they're doing all this TikTok stuff. Like, I would never do that in public, but like all kinds of people are doing it, like everywhere. You see it everywhere. It's like almost normal to see it. Well, not now, obviously, because of the pandemic, but before all this, it's like really normal to see that. But I'd like to like, I don't know if it's appropriate to have Ava on the show because how I was saying, like my show isn't really meant for adults, but
Okay.
or yeah, geez, they're not meant for kids. But it'd be nice to see get like her perspective because she's a youngin.
Yeah, I
Except
would.
she's only 12.
Yeah, she's definitely like a mixture of Leia and Michael, you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think Michael's more introvert.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
He's like a stereotypical introvert too. Like he's
Yeah.
shy, he's quiet.
He doesn't drink,
Mhm,
which he doesn't have to drink to enjoy himself. He keeps to himself.
mhm. He's very observant
Mhm.
too. Like you don't think he's listening, but he's listening. He knows what's going on in the parties.
Yeah.
He's definitely an introvert because he always leaves early when he can. Like if he's able to, like if he has the car or something, he'll go home early.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This happened plenty of times, and I'm just like, take me with you. Just kidding.
Even I see you at these. I remember when I used to see you. You'd come to these parties and like you'd disappear. You and Brandon would disappear and just like it's too many people here. I don't want to. I don't want to be with everybody else.
It's hard to say bye because there's so many people. And the moment you say, like, oh, okay, I'm going to leave now, it's like, okay, now we all have to take a bunch of family pictures, you know?
And you have to say bye to every single person, and not
Yeah,
once, not twice, but like at least 3 times before you leave.
exactly. So if you want to leave like a family event or like a Filipino event, if you want to leave at 8, you have to say goodbye at like 6
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, or you can be like what you guys are pretty good at it. Y'all be like halfway up out the driveway and be like, we're leaving now.
Hmm.
Bye, and then everybody just comes out and says bye at the same time.
Yeah, we'll try to sneak out because the
Professional
pictures are
introverts.
like, when we take pictures, it's not just one picture, it's like the whole family. Then they're like, okay, now just the cousins. Then, like, okay, just the boys. Then just the girls. And then it's like, different like types of pictures. It's not just one big picture.
Yeah, it'd be like you guys are like professional introverts.
We've got it
Um,
down.
yeah,
But some people are really good at, what's it called? I think people are starting to know us a lot better now too, especially since obviously we've been together for like 13 years. But people know like the right things to say to get us to come over too.
yeah,
I've noticed.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
And I was like, dang, they're starting to catch on. Because some people will, I won't name names, but some people will say, like, oh, come over, it's just us. And like, just us is very vague, but like, it's assuming that just us means just like a small group of people. But then when you get there, it's like, yeah, it's just them. But then they'll call and like call everyone over. So it's
Hmm.
no longer like just us. I was like,
Yeah,
you lie.
it happens so many times that my like every time I go home, like my dad will be like, "Oh, invite Zara," and then we'll have a little gathering, and then my aunt will show up, and Michael and Ava, and then my uncle will show up with all the kids, and then Brandon and Joanne and their kids would show up, and what was supposed to be like something simple would just turn into this massive gathering, and everybody would just be drinking and talking and just partying, and then at 1 o'clock we start playing mahjong, and like we play mahjong for like 2 hours. This is like always. If you're,
Yeah.
it's always a party.
It's like 0 to 100 real quick when you
Yeah.
go over there. It's crazy. It's funny. Like it actually just happened. No, not to that extent, but like Joanne invited us over for dinner, like me and Brandon, and we're like, yeah, we can go. And then she texted us afterwards and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna invite mom and Michael and Eva and Brenda. And it was just so funny because Brandon sent the meme, that Star Wars meme. It's a trap. We're just
Oh,
joking though.
Brandon definitely knows better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay though. We haven't seen them in a while, and I do enjoy like spending time with them. I just thought it was funny because it's like, oh, so you plan to say that after we already said yes?
Yeah, I'm just like I'm so like astonished that it's already September. I know there's like
Mm-hmm.
3 days left, but it's like pretty much September. We've been dealing with this pandemic since March. It's like, where did these months go?
Yeah, like we lost our entire summer basically,
Oh yeah.
and it's crazy.
Yeah, we had a
Like,
lot of people turn 21 around me, like a lot of people in our like friend group around here,
oh
and
yeah,
they didn't get to experience like that real 21st birthday out in town,
oh geez,
partying,
yeah,
just telling people, "Woo, I'm 21," and then waking up the next day regretting it. Yeah.
yeah. I know. I feel for those people. Like I totally feel for like people graduating, people turning 21, people like I don't know, like oh like your dad. Like I felt so bad because it's his 50th birthday, and last year we were talking about like how we were gonna make it so big and we were gonna do something, or like I think he wanted to go to Vegas and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then COVID hit, and it's just like I feel so terrible. We were planning
Mm-hmm.
on buying their hotel room, buying their flights, buying all the stuff for them to do because he really wanted to go to Washington.
Washington?
Yeah, he really wanted to go to Washington with my mom, and like that just couldn't happen. So we
What's
ended
up
up
in
just
Washington?
I don't know. I think he just wanted to go like the Puget Sound or like the market or something. I don't know why he wanted to go to Seattle, but he did.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I know they didn't get to do that because they don't really travel that much either. Like they don't really go on vacation actually in
Yeah, my dad
general.
my dad's idea of a vacation is to stay home and relax, which is fine.
Hmm.
It's the introvert vacation.
Yeah, which is weird because he's definitely not an introvert.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's like honestly, if I was to say I'm like like the closest person I am to would have to be like my dad. Like we act almost the same.
Hmm.
We'll mess with our siblings and people, like in a joking way. And then we'll want our like on Sundays, like we don't want anybody to come over. We want to just relax and just be lazy or not lazy in a sense, just want to relax and be by ourselves,
Recover.
watching TV. Yeah, like recover. And then on Saturday it's just like let's party.
Hmm. Yeah,
But yeah,
you're very much like your dad. Even your mannerisms, like
yeah,
how you move, how you walk, how you talk, very much like your
yeah.
dad.
I think all the siblings agree that I would be like all my siblings, Katrina, Jonathan, Kaylee, and or I say Katrina twice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you definitely are. Like
yeah,
little mini Ruben.
yeah. But I'm not like embarrassed by it or shamed by it. I'm more than happy to be like him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, everyone loves your dad. He has
Yeah,
that personality.
yeah. He doesn't like confrontation.
Hmm.
He doesn't like to cause it either. Let's get that clear though. But
No, definitely not. He's not the um like in Leia's episode we kind of talk about how Filipinos like to chismis, They like to gossip,
oh
but
yeah,
he's not the gossiping type and he's not the one who tries to be in the middle of drama or anything like
yeah,
that. That's what
yeah.
I like about him.
Yeah, and whenever gossip comes around, he always like, and I'm like listening to it. He just looks at me and he goes, don't do it. Don't say anything. Don't say anything, even if it bugs you. Just accept it." I'm like, okay, all right. I don't need this confrontation,
Hmm.
but yeah, let them speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why he's never like in the middle of it.
yeah.
He's never the one people are mad at,
Mm,
usually.
no, not really.
I lost my train of thought already. What was I gonna say? We keep going on different tangents, so I can't remember what we were talking about on
Me
our
neither. We
topic.
start we started talking about Leia and then the family, and then we got to my dad. I don't, this that
How did we
rabbit
get
hole.
from like Minecraft to your dad?
I don't know. It's just so crazy, like how you just go down these conversation rabbit holes. It's like when you're on YouTube, you'd be like looking at videos on how to fix something and end up looking at pandas falling off a tree. It's just like, how did I get here?
Yeah, because today, oh man, I shouldn't admit this. I had a really hard time focusing at work. Oh, jeez. So when I work, I listen to a podcast on learning how to speak Tagalog because although that's like the first language I learned, I am not like I don't speak it very well because like my parents didn't really enforce it in the house, but I can understand it completely. And we want to teach Sovi, my niece, my brother's daughter, how to speak Tagalog. So I've been like kind of brushing up on all that stuff. And so I went from like that podcast to learning how to roll my R's because I can't roll my R's um to like the news or something like that. Or and then like learning about my Myers-Briggs personality. Like it's completely different subjects like throughout the whole time. And then I even listened to a podcast about a psychic, which has nothing to do with like Tagalog.
Yeah, I do that all the time, and I sometimes it becomes so bad because I'll be laying in my bed with my phone in my hand, and I'll just be watching a video, and I'll see a suggested video like, oh, that looks interesting, and then I go, oh, that looks interesting, oh, that looks interesting, and it just keeps going and going and going, and then I look at my phone, I'm like, oh shit, it's 2 a.m. I got work.
Yeah, exactly. Because I love podcasts that go off tangents. That's why I don't really care. I mean, I care about the topic, obviously, because like I like having that one topic that we're talking about. But I do like going on tangents because like sometimes you hear like the most interesting stories off like random tangents from the episode. You know,
Yeah, because we started talking about video games, and now we're starting to talk about like
tangents.
families, and now tangents. We're tangenting about tangents.
Exactly. And I also want to do so it's a little brainstorming session with you, Patty, because I feel like you have a lot of good ideas. Um, so I don't know if you listen to a lot of podcasts, but I know a lot of like YouTubers too also do this. So when they have a guest on, there's always like a specific question, right? So like that they ask all their guests, like regardless of the topic. And I kind of want to do that too going forward with like all my guests. So I do have everyone take the test, whether they're an introvert, extrovert, ambivert, you know, because it that ties into the whole podcast thing. But like one podcast I listened to, there's this like, what would be your death row meal? And then like,
Hmm.
you know, like the I don't know if you listen to the H3 podcast anymore.
I do.
Okay. They used to do this, but they used to always ask their guests what's like a supernatural like experience they've had or something like that. So I want to figure out like what's a good question for my podcast.
Mm. That's I like that idea. Um, if I was to ask a question for your podcast,
Mhm.
what if you like ask them? Let's just ask them like, if you could be half sausage, would you rather be top half sausage or bottom half sausage?
What does that even mean?
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like, have sausage, have one sausage like for legs, or just like, like sausage top with the legs,
No, I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that question.
that's like my break the ice question for if I meet new people, and I always ask them like, hey, when you put your toilet paper on the wall, do you put it where you put the toilet paper towards the wall or towards the bowl?
Oh, it's under or over?
Yeah, the under and over question.
Those are very much Patrick questions if you were to have a podcast. But I'm
Oh
not sure
yeah,
if I'll ask those questions.
and I can ask him to be like, if you can change, you'd be like, if you can change whether you be a introvert, extrovert, or ambivert, would you do it? And if so, why?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a very like insightful one.
Yeah, because like if I would say I'm in a good spot because I know when to party and I know when to that I know when I want to be by myself. Some people might want to be like I'm an introvert and I would love to go out and meet more people, but I'm just not comfortable doing that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and you might get some very interesting answers. Like I was listening to your Love Languages podcast, and Bailey is very she likes to touch people, to like get their attention.
Yeah.
And Katrina just likes to be loud and talk to get to people and get people's attention that way. But
Mm-hmm.
like me
And
knowing
just to explain, sorry, before we're not saying Bailey likes to touch people like in an inappropriate way, but she's a very how would you say, like, she likes hugs and likes, shoulder rubs and like stuff like that. Nothing like inappropriate. I just realized it sounded weird when you said that.
yeah,
But yeah.
sorry, I'm not good with my words.
Yeah.
I'm like that dude from Good Burger when I read like the menu at a restaurant. I know some of these words. Like that's that's just kind of how I am. But as I but
Sorry, just like, wait, people might take that the wrong way.
yeah, sorry Bailey. I know you're probably gonna listen to this and you're gonna be like, what the fuck, Patrick? Come on. I'll be like, I'm so sorry. But as I was saying though, like like Katrina for instance, I've known Katrina for 20 years now, and like
Oh,
she's my
duh. Sorry.
stepsister.
I just realized like 20 years. She's older than that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, she's my stepsister, but like she's more of like my closest friend because we're literally the same age. She's born in April, I'm born in September of the same year. Same with Leia, and I'm pretty close with Leia too. But when it comes to Katrina, like her love language is very introvert in my eyes. I've known it for so long, and I've seen her from when she was going after boys. She likes to keep to herself, and she has all these emotions for people, and she wants to express them to these people that she might like, but she doesn't know how to. Like, she told me a story about how she liked this guy, and this guy would like look at her whenever she would go like out in like to the gym or something, and he was there, and like she would look at him, and she would like smile at him, and he would smile back, but she would never say anything. So one day, she gets the urge to finally. Okay, so she writes him a letter like and puts it on his car. She wasn't stalking him or anything. She just happened to see him go in his car one day, and she left him a note, and she didn't hear back from him to my knowledge. But like, see, if you know Katrina and you listen to her podcast, she's very loud, very extrovert, very like in your face, but
Like
in a nice way
outgoing and
and
like, yeah.
outgoing. Yeah, but like when it comes to her like love language, she's like very introvert about it. Like she keeps that stuff to herself.
Yeah, because her love language, I think, if I remember correctly, is quality time, which is like one on one, with that person and like spending time with that person, which I feel like is very introverted too, but she is very much an extrovert.
Yeah, like you said, quality time can be very introvert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when it goes back to what our first topic when we were talking about video games, we both brought out I brought up that my favorite game was Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite game because I've played it so many times, but it's also my favorite game because I've watched people play it and have quality time watching them play it and watching how they did things, and that's what made the game, in my opinion, like my favorite. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love like I would go to Brandon's house and watch him play and just be like so amazed and be like, man, I want to see what I can do different.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes with the whole changing a topic that's meant to be introvert, but like turning it into an extrovert event.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
your ambivert self.
yeah. Like I'd rather play a game by myself, but have people watch just so they can be like, oh, this is interesting and I want to do it too, or vice versa. Like I'd watch Brandon play for hours, and then when I play, it's like I want to do it my way, see if I can get a different result.
Did you take the love language quiz?
I did not. I was actually going to ask you what the link was to that because I was curious because I would say if there's a one for a Joker, then that would be
Which
definitely me because I am not attractive in my opinion,
Oh.
but I'm very I I can keep you entertained for a really really long time. Except my girlfriend now, she's like, "Oh, you're attractive and you're funny and you're goofy." She calls me goofy and a fool.
That's cute.
Yeah, which is like it's nice, but like I'm like I always ask her, I'm like, "Why do you think I'm attractive?" You know?
Hmm.
And then I'll say something stupid like, "You can land a Boeing 787 on my forehead because it's so big." Or like like look at this nose, like it's huge. Like that's I'll just be saying some crazy stuff and she just started laughing. And she'd be like, "No, you're not. Stop."
I sent you the link in the chat, the
Oh, I
Zoom
see it.
chat.
Oh, I see it. But yeah,
I'm
I definitely
curious
would be a
now.
joker.
So the five languages is going on another tangent is like acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
So I'm
I
about to be
don't know.
25 in like a week. Should I put 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna take it?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now as we speak. Have you read
Maybe
the love?
that's a good question to ask people. What's
How's
your
it?
love language?
Yeah, that's a good thing. But don't ask them like that. Be like, "What's your love language?" You know?
I'm not gonna ask him like that. Yeah, I like that question. We'll see. We'll see if I should do like a more obscure one or like more insightful one, like what you were saying earlier. Like if you're an introvert, do you want to be an extrovert or ambivert, and why? Like, do
Yeah.
you want to switch? Because you don't really switch. You're kind of just who you are, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
not necessarily change up my like whole lifestyle. Just be like, I want to be able to go out and do more stuff, you know, or like I
mhm.
want to stay in more and just focus on me more, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
Ooh, unexpected project. All right. Sorry, I'm like doing this at the same time. But what was your love language?
What is my love language? I always forget, but I know number one is acts of service.
Acts of service.
Yeah. So I like when people, I don't want to say they do things for me, but like, so I took it in with the mindset of like my love language with Brandon basically. So I like when like Brandon will do the dishes, like say that the house is like a mess, but I'm like super busy and we have family coming over, but I need to work or something. Brandon will just go and clean the house, or he'll go and like do laundry, or he'll go like every once in a while, like Brandon will go and just um, fill up my gas tank if he sees it's like going low or something like that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like little gifts in a sense.
Yeah. Well, not gifts, because receiving gifts I think is pretty low on my list. Because it's not really gifts per se. Like I don't really care for gifts. I mean, I like them. Obviously, I'm going to take them if you give it to me. But like I like the actions more than I like the gifts. Yeah, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I just did a so one of my classes is that I'm taking is called Sustainable Arts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to write a discussion post about minimalism, and I would say in a sense I kind of live like a minimalist
Yeah.
because I have to keep my stuff small because I never know where I'm going next being like in doing what
Being
I
in the
do in the
military.
military. Yeah, because I have to like be able. Let's say I get put on like a ship or something coming up soon. Like I have to be
Mm-hmm.
able to like put all my stuff in either like a storage like real quick and have somebody else have to worry about it. And I don't like giving that to anybody. You know,
Mm-hmm.
giving somebody that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. Is your girlfriend in the military?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you guys met.
Yes. She thought I was goofy, and so she thought I was goofy, and she liked it. And then one day I just asked her if she wanted to hang out. She said, "Yeah." She said exactly like
So
that too.
so romantic.
She said it exactly like that though. I was like, "So, do you want to like hang out today?" And we were just gonna play Animal Crossing. That's it.
That's cute.
Yeah. So we played Animal Crossing, and then just started chit chatting, and then that's kind of how we like started.
Crossing is another good, well-rounded game too. Like everyone can play it,
Oh yeah, for
all
sure. Like
ages.
Ava plays it, Aiden plays it,
Yeah,
Joanne plays it.
yeah. And Joanne does not play video games.
Mm-mm.
So when she started playing it, everyone went crazy. We're like, "Oh my god, Joanne's gonna play a video game! Like, what's next? Minecraft?" But she never did. She never went on Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft though, I feel like she'd like if she played it. She likes to watch Aiden play it.
Hmm.
Do you think
Yeah,
Ava? Do you think not Ava? Do you think Emma's gonna play video games?
I think so. But I feel like she's more of an active person. But I don't know. She's just so young. But
Emma?
she likes to do anything that Aiden does.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
see that. I see that. I feel like she wants to do it better though too. You know?
like I feel like they're gonna play like Mario Kart a lot. 'Cause that's like one of Aiden's favorite games,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be like super competitive. And they're always gonna play those competitive type games. Like if
Yeah,
they had like Tekken or something, or I don't know if Street Fighter's still around.
Street
But
Fighter.
yeah, but those type of games, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I played Mortal Kombat like religiously for a while. That was fun. I was playing with people from like Brazil and like the East Coast when I was in Cali.
Really?
Yeah, I had like over 1,000 hours on that game.
We were a Tekken family. We played a lot of
Tekken.
Tekken. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I played Tekken. I was always the dinosaur.
The dinosaur.
Yeah, the little dinosaur with the boxing gloves.
And what was the other one? What's that? Do you remember that game where it's like different cars and you go to like different places, but you're like trying to destroy each other? God, what is it called? There's like that one with like the crazy clown ice cream truck.
Oh, Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have that on my PSP and I played it. I played it like recently this year.
Really? I was always Flower Power.
Flower Power.
Yeah.
I was always the Undertaker,
Yeah.
the Grave Dude.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That was a good game. I loved that game. And I was Axel, the guy that's like just has wheels and it's his body.
Yeah, Axel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I picked him, but I just thought it was really fascinating. I was like, he turned
That game
himself
was
into.
always fun.
Hmm.
Or the Cops.
Oh yeah, there's the cops. Those are good games.
Oh yeah,
There's
games these days are like the RPG games these days aren't as like they don't fascinate me as much.
yeah. I mean, Witcher's good.
Yeah, that's like the last one. That was like 2015. That's like the
Hmm.
last game like I was just like into. Our Fallout 4. I don't know which one came out later. I think Fallout 4 came out after, so probably that one.
Fallout 4 is good and all, but it has kind of the story is okay. Like
Yeah,
I don't know, like you because you have the different endings and all, but it's not like Fallout 3 where you can like really um grow your person, I guess, if that makes sense. Like how you have
yeah,
karma and stuff like that.
yeah. There's no karma in that one.
Hmm. But Fallout 4 has like it's fun because like all the buildings, like you're rebuilding the wasteland basically.
Yeah,
So that aspect is fun.
93%.
Okay, you're almost done. Did you do the single one or did you do I think it's like single, married, or
Couples.
couples? Yeah.
I did single.
Wanted to take a quick break to talk about Instacart. With Instacart, you no longer have to do the shopping and you can get your groceries delivered right to your doorstep. They connect you to a personal shopper who you can easily chat with online or on the mobile app. It's super easy to use and you can save on travel time and going through the store. Listeners will receive free delivery on your first order over $35. Follow the link in the description to let them know I sent you and to help support the show. Use Instacart and you'll never need to step into a grocery store again.
All right, let's see. Quality time.
Ah, so you got what Casey got.
Yeah.
What's your ranking like for the other ones?
So physical touch is 23, acts of service is 27, quality time is 33, words of affirmation are 13%, receiving gifts is 3%.
Okay, so words of affirmation and receiving gifts is like low on the totem pole.
Yeah. I don't really I don't really beg for gifts from my significant other or family members.
Yeah,
But
I can see that.
all right, what were we talking about again?
Well, our topic is supposed to be personalities in video games.
Yeah, we went on too many tangents. At
Yeah,
least I think I did. I tend to do that with people.
that's okay though. I don't know how long we've been on. What time
We've
did
been
we
on,
start?
I think we started like, let me check when the last time you texted me. 6:49.
6:49 to
Is there
9:49.
anything else you want to like talk about with it?
Or well, I don't know. We kind of already talked like I agree with the article because so going back to the article, it says that introverts pick more RPGs, more solo games, whereas extroverts pick more multiplayer games. And like talking to you about it, I feel like the article's pretty accurate because you are in the middle. You're an ambivert, so you enjoy both. You know,
Hmm.
like do you prefer one over the other? Because you on the quiz you technically got extrovert, but
Yeah. I don't prefer one or the other because I like a good story, but I also like playing with friends, you know,
mm-hmm.
because I feel like it's a bonding experience.
Yeah.
Even whether it be telling stories about like that RPG you played with somebody else who's played it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like doing that too.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty accurate. Like even when we play, like when we were saying earlier, when we play multiplayer games, even in the multiplayer games, like I'm more solo and you can do both. Sometimes you're solo and sometimes you'll go and like raid someone's camp with people. So you're
Oh yeah.
like both.
Hmm.
So
Or
I
like, well,
definitely agree.
yeah, like when we play Minecraft, I'll go out and do my own thing, but I also have like little RPG stuff like I have my police station or my armor shop or my like my farm like would you like to trade this for this? I'm a
Mm-hmm.
humble farmer. Yeah, and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm but a humble farmer. Yeah.
So I think I agree. I agree with that article. I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I would agree so too. Yeah, it did say I was more on the extrovert side, but yeah, I'm definitely more of the in the middle. And
Yeah. I personally think you're an ambivert.
yeah,
Yeah.
the first time you said ambivert, I thought you said Amber Alert, and I was just like, "Excuse me?"
Oh. Well, it's not a very like common used term. I think that's why.
Yeah, because
Ambivert.
it kind of seems like people are just like you're one or the other, you know?
Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a spectrum.
For sure.
Like no one's fully like an introvert and extrovert because I figure out someone talked about that. Like it's just impossible to be 100% one thing. But I did
Yeah,
take the Myers Briggs test, and I'm apparently like 96% an introvert, which
yeah.
is a lot.
That is a lot. When I did my test, I was 53% extrovert.
So you really are down the middle.
Yeah, and I was like 47 introvert, so it's like I
Wow.
so like I could see it. I could see that spectrum, you know?
Hmm. So on the test, you probably just scored like 1 point above or something like a couple points above, but you
Yeah,
really are like almost right down the middle. Interesting. That's good to know.
yeah, for
And
sure.
see, and so yeah, so we talked about that topic and see, this is where I would be like asking my icebreaker question or like the question I ask my guest every time. But I haven't thought of that yet. So if you can think of like a question, just shoot me a text and I don't know. I'll think of something. But for this episode, let's see, what's a good do you have like a good crazy story to end the episode that you can share? You're always full of stories.
What do you wanna hear from me? I got drunk stories. I got personal stories. I have a lot of drunk stories actually. Probably should start like telling. I mean, I feel like people would find interest in them.
Like what's your craziest drunk story then?
Um, I would say the craziest drunk story I had was the first time I came to. So I'm currently in Oahu in Hawaii, and the first night I decided to go out for a friend's birthday party, I was attacked by what I perceived as a prostitute. I'm not going to say she was a prostitute, but the things she was saying kind of made me think she was. So I don't know if that's appropriate.
We'll just say a lady of the night.
A lady of the night, a lady,
Something.
a lady who wanted to have a good time at 4 in the morning.
There you
That's
go.
like, yeah. But well, would you like to hear that story?
Sure.
Okay,
Entertain
so
my listeners with your crazy story.
so first of all, I've lived in Hawaii for about since April of 2019. I've been living here, and I didn't go out drinking, like out in town drinking, until probably say mid-November. So that's a lot of time, you know. So I didn't really know the
Mm-hmm.
scene. I know in Hawaii they have this thing called First Fridays, and so I was out there doing First Friday. So it was I was at my friend's birthday party. We went to Italian food. Then we went to Dave and Buster's, had a good time. And me wanting the party to keep going, I said, "Hey, let's go to a karaoke bar." And if you don't know, my family is very big on karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Karaoke until 3 a.m. and I'm always the one to will get us to start singing and then get everybody in the mood. You know, you got to start it with those first three songs. That song by Journey, everybody knows it. That song by the Backstreet Boys, and and then that's just that's how you get everybody in the mood. Oh, and that song by Shaggy, you know, it wasn't me. Everybody knows that song.
Oh my
But
gosh.
so we're at this karaoke. You know, we're there for a few hours. You know, we pay, and then I was like, you know what, the night's still young. Does anybody else want to do something else? And they're like, we can go to this bar. This bar's called Moose's. And if anybody from Hawaii is listening, they've been to Moose's, they they know what I'm about to get into. But so I went to Moose's and we ended up partying and a lot of crazy people there. Our group wasn't too sane as is, but after we all were done, ready to go home, my buddy was like, who took me there, who hadn't been drinking that night, just disappeared. I guess he got angry with somebody, and so I was like, oh shoot, I'm kind of drunk, sober enough to know where I'm at and how to work my phone, but I'm not sober enough to get myself home if I was to drive. So don't drink and drive. That's my little personal statement, or my PSA. But so I was looking for my friend. He wasn't answering his phone. He wasn't answering my text. I waited around the front for about 15 minutes. So I said, "Fuck it. I'm just gonna take an Uber to his car," because that's how we got there. And so I take an Uber to his car. I'm sitting by his car waiting for like 20 minutes. I call him, ask him where he's at, and I text him. I see that he read it, and I'm like, okay, he's still okay because he's reading my text messages. Maybe he just needs some time to himself. So I wait there for about 20 minutes. At this point, it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm tired. I ate Italian food that made me sleepy. I was at Dave and Buster's, had some drinks, made me sleepy. I was singing karaoke, made me sleepy, and I was at the club. And I was exhausted. I was like, I'm ready to go home. So we parked near a Walmart, and so I'm walking to this Walmart, and I decided to sit by the side of it, and I called my Uber. And after a few minutes of waiting there, this dude comes up to me. You know, he's wearing a nice button up, some black pants, and some like vampire boots. I'm gonna call him. And he goes up to me, he says, "Hey, you got the time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got the time. It's about 3:45 in the morning." He goes, "Oh, cool." Takes a few steps, looks at me, and he goes, "Do you want to have a good time tonight?" And I'm like, no, I already had a good time. I just want to go home and just go to sleep." And he goes, no, 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 come on, let's go have a good time. And I'm like, no, I'm all right, thank you. And he goes, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm positive. And then I just start walking away, and I move closer to the front of the Walmart. It's a 24-hour Walmart, I believe. I don't really remember. And then this lady, she's wearing like this this like really tight dress and like these like heels, and like she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, what are you doing all here by yourself?" And I'm just like, I'm just waiting for my Uber, just trying to go home." And she's like, "Oh, well, can I wait with you?" And I was just like, he's almost here. I don't really want you. I didn't know what to say, so I was just like, yeah, just kind of mumbling. And she just says, "Well, do you want to have a good time tonight?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm ready to go home." At this point, it's like 4 in the morning. She's like, "Come on, let's have a good time." And when I get annoyed to a point, I just don't answer. I don't look at you, and I just keep walking, and I just completely ignore him. So I do that. She did not take that very kindly. She starts like getting upset and starts yelling and being aggressive. And as I'm running away, because like she starts chasing me, she like throws her heel at me. I'm like, what did I do to this
Jeez.
girl? What did I do to this girl? It's like 4 in the morning. At this point, I'm sober. So like my Uber had been texting me, asking me where I was because Hawaii streets are very difficult to maneuver sometimes. And I just call them like, "Hey, you need to get here now. I'm being chased." And they're like, "Wait, what?" And he was like, "Yeah, this crazy lady is trying to chase me." And he goes, "Oh, I'm almost there." And so I walk up to the Uber, and I get in, and I just tell him to just drive, and I finally drive off. And this dude, and I don't know why, but this Uber thought it would be okay to he just scolds me the whole time, like as I'm going home. I'm like, okay,
He
whatever.
was lecturing you?
Yeah, he was lecturing me when I was going home. But that's not even the crazy part. Like getting about this, getting attacked by the prostitute. The crazy part was when I texted my buddy the next day. So after all this happens, I want to go check on my buddy to make sure he's okay. I I I call him and he says, "Bro, hey, yeah, I'm sorry about last night. I'm sorry you had to go home by yourself." I'm like, "What happened to you?" And he's just like, "Nah, just the club just made me angry." And I was just like, "Oh, that's fine. Okay, are you okay?" He goes, "Yeah, but somebody broke into my car last night." And I'm like, "What? Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, somebody broke into my car last night." I'm like, "That's crazy." I'm like, "Do you know what he was wearing?" And this is the part that gets me. He was wearing a nice button-up shirt, and he was wearing black pants and like my buddy said, some boots, like some like steel toe boots. And I'm like, the kind of like vampire boots, right? And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, how did you see him?" He goes, "Well, I get into my car and I look over to my right and I think it's you in the passenger seat." And I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Goose?" And then I look over and I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's not Goose." And I look and then my sun mirror's broken. And so then he just starts like wailing on this dude, trying to get him out of his car. Dude breaks his mirror,
Oh
and
my
my
God.
buddy starts chasing him down the street to like, I don't know. He starts chasing him down the street, and he gives up, and he gets into his car, and he's driving home, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll be," and he like tells me the story. I'm like, "All right, I'll be over. I want to see you." My buddy cuts his hand, um, and when he was telling me this, I'm like, "Bro, that sounds like the same exact dude who like tried to like get me to buy like a prostitute from him or something, or like told me if he asked me if I wanted to have a good time, he goes, "No, that's crazy." He's like, "Well, I was sitting by your car for a long time. He might have gotten mad and decided to hit your car, you know?
Probably
I
thought it was
don't
your
know."
car.
Yeah, he probably thought it was mine, and it was just like, "Oh, he left in an Uber, so this car is gonna be abandoned for the night." But yeah, so that's probably like one of my craziest like drinking stories, and that was like my first night in Hawaii, and I didn't go out drinking a- after that. I-
I just scared you from drinking.
yeah, I would just go out to like my friends' houses and drink, and then COVID hit, and I wasn't
Yeah.
able to go out drinking or go out partying. But yeah, that's probably one of my scariest stories. And then like when I woke up the next day, I didn't realize that I also was like like she scratched up my arms, and like my back had like a bruise on it for where she threw that heel at me. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know she like hit me that hard. I guess I was like
Still drunk.
still drunk, but like sober at the same time.
She hit you so hard. What kind of
Yeah.
shoes? Oh my
I'm talking
goodness.
like stiletto heels.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that was my first night being out till 4 a.m. in Hawaii.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for ending this episode on a very odd and terrifying story, by the way. Like, I'd be terrified if I was your friend finding some random stranger next to me in my car.
Yeah, and thinking it was me, right? Like that's
Yeah, I'd
yeah,
be terrified. But, geez, I'm glad everyone's okay, though. I'm glad you're
yeah,
okay and your friend's okay. No
yeah,
one got hurt. I mean, unfortunately, he has to fix his car, but other than that, no one got
yeah,
hurt.
yeah. So that's pretty much that's it was a good night. Ended terribly, but up until then it was good.
That's good. All right, Patty, do you have any last things you want to tell the listeners?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on here, and I look forward to listening to all your podcasts in the future, and I look forward to telling people more stories. Hopefully, maybe I'll think of making a podcast, and get some little influence from you.
Oh, I'd be super excited to hear your podcast. If that happens, we can like guest on each other's podcast. I'll
Yeah.
definitely plug you. I'll share you on my Instagram and all that.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Patty. Thanks for getting on. I'm sure to have you on plenty of more future podcast
I look
episodes.
forward. I look forward to it. We could
Awesome.
probably even do a podcast while we play a game.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd
Yeah,
be a
that
good one.
yeah with everybody. But then
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Brandon says some pretty dicey things.
Yeah, that would take some editing on my part.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for having me, Mia.
Thanks, Patty. All right, guys, that is the end. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed having Patrick on the podcast. I definitely plan on having him on here more often, and hopefully, we get some more of his crazy stories. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you like the show and want to stay in the know, please follow me on social media. I am on Instagram as the Talkative Introvert Podcast. I'm also on Facebook. You could find me as just the Talkative Introvert. You can also check out my website at thetalkativeintrovertpodcast.com, and all the information is there as well as in the description. Please give me a follow. Please share with others who you think would love the podcast just as much as you do, and and also reach out to me if you have any topic ideas, if you want to like chit chat about the most current episode or even previous episodes. I'm more than happy to hear from all of you guys, and I'm pretty curious as to like what you guys think anyways, so please let me know. Yeah, so thanks so much for listening again. I appreciate all the downloads, all the listens and all that. So thanks, guys, and I will talk to you in the next episode.